Oh, that's really noisy right next to your ear. Hello, people of the internet. Today I'm going to be continuing working on my potato with wheels behind me here, TeeTer ToT. If you're new and you want to get caught up and want to know why I'm calling an Audi a potato with wheels, there will be no answer for that. I just don't make sense. You're welcome. All right, now everyone else that's up to speed, you guys know I just put the flywheel on the engine here, and now I need to finish assembling and get this thing stuffed back into the potato. Also, if you weren't aware, that I'm giving away the TT. There's a link in the video description for the giveaway. And also, I know it was driving people crazy that the headlights on this thing were all nasty and yellow and faded. Well, the guys next door sanded and clear coated them. Trying to give those guys some business because Christian's learning how to paint. This thing is so handy. I think it was literally found in the trash is where the guys next door got it from. Whoa, almost lost that. I think this is my AC compressor right here. If there's one irritating problem that people never want to have with a car, that's air conditioning problems. So I just ordered all new AC parts, so that way this thing will be fresh, ready to go, and the person that wins it will probably live in Maine and never use their AC. I remember the first time I ever sat in a car that had air conditioning. I was like 7 or 8 years old or so, and my aunt was dating this guy and he had a BMW and it had AC, and that was the first time I ever like experienced air conditioning in my life. Tell me you grew up in the sticks without telling me you grew up in the sticks. Slice, damn you. Ooh, there we go. Nice. It looks like they had a ferret living in here before they shipped it to me. Spacer goes on this backside. I know, I shouldn't leave extension cords dangled on the floor like that. Take a nap. I love that little thing, but sometimes, I swear. What size are you? 16, of course you are. Some of you have been asking me what I plan on replacing the TT with for the next build I do on this channel. And I can tell you this much, that it will 100% be another European car. Because I want to keep that diversity on my channel, since I already have 2 Japanese vehicles and 2 American vehicles. The car I want to choose, I can't afford, and they're really hard to find. I could build one using some other models and piecing it together myself, but parts are really hard to find for those. And that's good enough. It's stainless. Oh, that's tight. That's not gonna be fun to try to line up. These come in handy, I tell you what. I did just tell you what. I told you they came in handy. This right here is yet again another part no one will ever see, but it bothers me that it's all pitted and looks like nonsense. It's the oil return line for the turbo. This stuff smells terrible. Absolutely terrible, but it works. It's already working. I got impatient. I just used the wire wheel. That stuff didn't work that great. It's actually not hot out today, and the wind is keeping the mosquitoes away, so. Whilst that's drying outside, I'm going to put the clutch on. Vallejo. In case you're wondering, I wiped down the surface of the flywheel already. A little bit of spicy blue mustard. That sounds delicious. Last drop. I want to eat spicy wings now because the hot ones. It sounds really good right now. According to my Bentley service manual, there's various manufacturers of clutch in here, which I really like that they put that in there. The one thing I've noticed though is regardless of the manufacturer of the clutch, the pressure plate hardware to the flywheel is all the same. It just goes based on the bolt size itself. It's always a good rule of thumb anyway. If you don't have torque specs for something, you can just go off of the specific size and grade of bolt that you're using, and that's a safe rule of thumb, and this thing just turned off on me. 22. Cool. That slides nice even without lube. That's what he said. The sun's starting to set and the mosquitoes are out because the wind went away. Yep. Looks like brand new, doesn't it? I'm compelled to look up the torque spec on these, even though common sense would dictate that it's probably just good and tight and call it a day, but it actually says to use a little bit of Loctite on here. And it's 10 Newton meters, which is 7 pound-feet. It's not very much. Hello, welcome to the next day. I put a hammock on the lift. Super comfy for editing. It's not really the most enjoyable experience sitting hunched over a laptop for hours on end, so this is way nicer to lay in and edit. Good job, little buddy, good job. I got a lot of things I need to do today, so less talking, more working. Time lapse, engage. Almost 6 o'clock at night right now. I've been here working on the shop for a little over 9 hours. And that time lapse was probably, what, a minute? Why don't I just wheel this closer? What is wrong with me? This is working. How the hell am I gonna do this? This is gonna suck ass. I'm genius. I am a genius. This is so brilliant. It's so close. Oh, too much. Lowering. I'm trying my hardest to do this on my own. I'm fairly certain I can get these two together without help, but I don't know, they're really f***ing heavy. I almost got it. I just gotta get the input shaft lined up. Oh, it's in! It's in! I don't care if that's an innuendo. I just need this thing to suck itself down. To hold it in place for now. I gotta put the starter in. I know that doesn't go there like that. I think I'm missing 2 bolts though. I gotta look and see if I can find them. I've been trying my hardest to accomplish these videos in 2 full days of work rather than 3, because that's just psychotic and I've been doing it like this for 4 years. But it's day 3 and I want to get this engine transmission in this car in this video. My friend Dom's GTO is getting ready to go into paint. It's a 64. It's an all-motor drag car he's building. If you guys want to see a car view on it, maybe I can get him to do it for my second channel. And those are for the Gump. I had 4 brand new tires for it, and one of them came in defective. We put 75 PSI in this tire and it still would not seat. I guess it's manufactured incorrectly, so this is actually too small of a diameter on the side. It's a factory screw up. And Bridgestone discontinued that model of tire, like literally right after I bought the set. So now I'm screwed. I have to buy 4 new ones because they're for the Forester. This is super sketchy. Yeah, there we go. I like how this thing hoists. I don't think this weighs more than 500 pounds. It's gonna be close. Well, I tried my best to make this look new before sticking it back in there. The new oil pan definitely helped, and the new AC compressor makes it look nice. It sucks the oil cooler, I just didn't have any way of making that look new again, and taking it off would just created more of a mess than it would have helped anything. So the transmission, it's clean at least. The Calvo Charlie has arrived. He broke my lights.
Shoddily attached.
The only tricky part is that brace right across there, which unbolts. Could unbolt that brace. It might make it a lot easier. Eek. Oh, that's really noisy right next to your ear. Okay. The issue would have been that dog bone would have hit the brace trying to raise that thing up into place. I wrap. Is it on the lift locks?
No, but you're gonna have to pull the lever.
How's that? I was kind of nerve-wracking doing that while holding a camera at the same time. Probably shouldn't have been doing that. Okay, so now the CV axles are gonna be a treat.
Yes, they are.
So down inside here are the two power steering rack lines. One goes to the cooler, one of them goes to the pump. And it needs to go right there. They're kind of a nightmare to get to. Alright, I'll try to get the CV. The CV is almost lined up.
That's good enough, right there.
Right there?
Now you gotta guide the dog bone.
Alright, so under the car?
Yeah.
Where's the other engine mount bolt?
It's up there on the cowl.
Oh. Sweet! This is definitely not one of the most fun engines to have to pull. I'll tell you that much. Thank you for your help getting this thing in there.
You're welcome.
I think the hard part's done now, so.
Yeah, you just gotta snug those up and you can get the engine crane out of here.
That one's good. This right here is the part you guys were all waiting for. I know everyone in the comments section is gonna be extremely excited about this. That is a tube of cavity wax. I'm gonna wax some cavities. I had so many comments about people saying that this car was now gonna rust since I cleaned all the anti-corrosion wax coating off. Well, guess what? This is happening. You're welcome. The stuff's gonna look absolutely disgusting, but at least the inside of the frame rails will be protected again. I'll get the areas that were covered by the factory. I'm not going ham on it like they did from the factory, and I will say this, if you win this car, you better not drive this thing in road salt. It's 20 years old. There's not many of these left. Take care of it. Now this little treat right here is a 4-bar Bosch fuel pressure regulator, because the one that was on here was poop. This hose clamp is nonsense. I'm replacing this as well. Look at that. That's dumb. This is not okay. Jeez! Thing hit me in the belly button. Oh, that was gross down inside there. I need to lube that with a little bit of fuel before I stick it in there. Said nobody ever. Lots of lube. Well, this one's nice and clean. The other one was all nasty looking. Ooh. It's a tight fit. Okay. No! Where are you going? You can't go out here. You're what? Why are you going outside? No. As you can already tell, it's dark out. I got as much done on the TT as I could in these past 3 days. And I think I have about another day and the whole thing will be reassembled. And you've already saw it back there. Yes, that's the Ranger frame. The frame that I got from the truck in New Mexico, I had sandblasted and it has been completely coated in POR 15 top coat. So it is all ready for a robot. Watch out for that wheel there, buddy. Still gotta do the rear axle, and I have a bunch of parts at powder coating. All the parts that I could take off of the frame were powder coated. The frame itself was done in POR 15 because if there's ever anything that needs to be touched up on the frame cosmetically, it's way easier to just touch it up with more of that POR 15 versus if it's powder coated. That sucks. Anyway, one of you guys put that in a comment and I was like, that actually makes perfect sense, and I agree. So just small components were powder coated. No, you made it pee. Now you're gonna run it over and get it all over the no, you don't. What? I just saved you from that. What are you doing? Go this way. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I'll get this video up for you guys first thing tomorrow, and I'll see you with another video soon. Ranger stuff is on the way as soon as the stuff's back from powder coating, and that rear axle gets powder coated, painted. Good night, bye.